Hey everyone, welcome back to my Mexican kitchen here in Switzerland. The recipe for today is for some walnut cookies. They are, in US they call them Mexican wedding cookies, they call them snowball cookies. In Mexico we just call them walnut cookies. I don't know if it's a regional thing that maybe in other parts of Mexico from a different area than I got to grow up in, they're called different. That tends to happen. So if that's the case and you know where, please leave a comment so that I can learn where the name came from for the Mexican wedding cookies. Getting back on track. The recipe I'm sharing is quite special because it's how they prepare it in one of the convents in the town I grew up in. So the nuns make them like this and they are so yummy. So let's get started. The ingredients you need to make your Mexican wedding cookies, snowball cookies, walnut cookies are 300 grams of flour, 200 grams of maizena, or cornstarch, 200 grams of chopped up walnuts or pecans, whatever you have, 250 grams of butter, 200 grams of confectioner sugar. That's going to be used later. It's for coating the cookies once they are baked. 150 grams of normal sugar, 3 eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, a pinch of salt. Okay, so to start we're going to need this attachment, and what we're going to do is we're going to whisk our butter. It has to be room temperature butter. That's going to make the whole process much easier. We're going to make a nice smooth creamy butter. Once it's done whisking, we're going to add our sugar. You continue mixing. Then you add your eggs one by one. You continue mixing, and then you're going to switch to this attachment. You take the other one out and you put this one in, and you're going to add your walnuts in there. You keep mixing. It's all mixing. Once it's fully mixed, we're going to start adding our dry ingredients, which are the flour, the cornstarch or maizena, the salt, and the baking powder. Those, before you add them in here, sift them. You can, if you have one of these, you just sift it in there, or if not, you can use a strainer, whatever you use for sifting. So you sift all the dry ingredients in there, and you keep mixing, and that would be it for now. Okay, so we're done making our dough, and the next step, it's optional, but I highly recommend it, and it's chilling your dough in the fridge for a couple of hours. Like I explained in the past video for the Day of the Dead cookies, the point in chilling your dough is that all the fats get solid again, because if you bake cookies straight away after kneading the dough, the butter and everything is melted, and when you bake it, it melts even more, and the cookies grow and spread and lose their shape. If it's been in the fridge for a couple of hours, all the fats get solid, and therefore when you're baking it, it takes longer to melt, and the cookies actually keep a really nice shape. That being said, you can either refrigerate the whole dough as it is here, or you can already make the balls and refrigerate each, like a tray of the cookies already made. The balls are kind of the same size as a gumball, so just as advice so you know what size to make them. So I'll see you guys in a couple of hours. Okay, so before we get started on anything that comes up next, preheat your oven at 180 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. While it's heating up, you can take your cookie dough out of the refrigerator. I left mine quite a few hours, so it's really nice and firm. You can't really press it, it's really firm, so that's very good. Once the oven reaches the heat that you need, you're going to put your cookies in there and you're going to bake them for 8 to 12 minutes. You don't want them to overbake, you don't want them to get dark. These cookies have a very light color, so as soon as you see that they're baked, you can take them out of the oven. After that, what you're going to do is you're going to put all your cookies on a cooling rack for about 5-10 minutes tops. You don't want them to fully cool down, because what you're going to do is The confectioner sugar, you have it in a bowl, and once your cookies are baked and cooled down, you're gonna roll them in the confectioner sugar so that they're completely coated. If you really like them to be like super, super white, kind of like snowballs, you can do that process 2 or 3 times just so that they're really coated in the sugar and they look really beautiful. Okay, so we're done with our cookies. As you saw, it is so easy. I mean, cookies are really easy to make. It's not a complicated recipe, hardly ever. Cookies are really basic recipes. As long as you follow the instructions step by step, don't jump anything, really pay attention to what you're supposed to do, you're gonna get really good cookies. And these are really good, trust me. They have so many different names. In Spanish, they're called kisses, besos, or walnut balls because of the shape. And I've also seen the Mexican wedding cookies, which I still don't know why they're called that, but it's also the name, or snowballs. There's a lot of names, but that doesn't matter. The important thing is that they are super yummy. Thank you to the nuns that have this and prepare this recipe, and I hope to see you guys next time.